As fantastic a CFP as Mel O is, as wonderful an attorney as I am, and as good as Stormy is at whatever it is he does, please do note that anything said in our podcasts are our opinions alone and are not meant to be taken as financial or legal advice.
Welcome to Finances, the Other F Word, a Gen Xer podcast for musicians and music lovers, where we discuss money and music without all the pretentious bullshit. Here are your hosts, Zoe Terry, attorney at large, Stormy Andrews, founder of Yokel Local Marketing, and Mel O, certified financial planner and author of Finances, the Other F Word. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey guys, welcome to Finances, the Other F Word, and today we're going to talk about soundtracks and television shows that have actually brought bands back from the brink or that have actually made them wildly popular. And this was actually my co-host Zoe Terry's idea, so we're going to let her explain why it is that she thought of this.
Okay, so yes, this was my idea. So where it sprang from was the other morning, my eldest child, sweet Elliot, was humming the theme song to CSI. Because apparently...
Yeah! Right?
Who are you?
Actually, it's Baba O'Reilly is actually the theme song for NCIS.
Yeah. And
that's a different song. Anyway, go ahead.
Exactly. So already you'll see that our host has taken over...
Already.
Yeah,
sorry.
I know. So we're talking about CSI, not NCIS, completely different. Yeah. So, God, I'm completely off track. So my child Elliot, I'll mention his name again.
What's his name again?
It's Elliot.
Elliot.
I'll edit all of this out.
Okay, so that's Elliot. Just wanted to make sure.
And can we be clear about the spelling, because that's very clear, very important too. It's E-L-L-I-O-T. Anyway, so he was humming the song from CSI, and apparently in high school here in Vegas, he one of his subjects is forensic science, and as
wait, they teach forensic science in high school?
Yes. But what that entails, apparently, is watching endless episodes of CSI.
Dude, I want to go back to fucking high school.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I would have gotten A's all the way through like a champion.
I can watch TV like nobody else, so I would be a straight A student anyway, too, which apparently he is in that particular subject. But anyway, so he was humming along that theme tune early in the morning as I was trying to hurry him along for school. And so I broke out into, who are you? Who? He was mortified, of course, because
it sounded like that.
And it sounded like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I explained to him that the CSI theme song was actually by The Who, which is a British band. And he promptly told me to shut up, and we got into the car and didn't speak again for the rest of the journey to school. But it got me thinking about song. That song was from 1978. And I imagine it caused a bit of a resurgence for The Who. And in fact, as I did a little bit of research, it did. Roger Daltrey from The Who actually appeared in CSI in the 150th episode, no less. And
now, which one is LL Cool J on?
Oh, that's NCIS.
Yeah.
NCIS.
Once again, she's
Is that
pissing all over my.
I know,
my
but
thing.
but all I know is that LL Cool J used to be a rapper. He used to be fucking ripped, and now he's some guy on one of those shows.
I think he's still in really good shape.
Yeah.
He's not. He's not.
He's not?
No.
Man, I've got to get back to
Do you guys
watching
remember
TV.
when he performed on MTV, Mama Said Knock You Out? And he kept saying, Mama said knock you out. And he had white deodorant all over under his, do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Under his pits. So, and of course he has hairy pits. He's a dude. That's totally
Right.
okay. But you would think that they would like give him some clear or something. But no, he was like, Mama, and he was performing live and he kept doing this and literally just all covered in white deodorant. I'm sorry,
Nice.
I had to segue that because that's
Okay.
exactly what I thought about.
Perfect.
Go ahead, Zoe.
Well, anyway, thanks again for ruining my topic that I thought of. And another reason that I thought that this was a timely topic was because Dick Dale passed away earlier this month, in March actually, and he was the surf rock pioneer who made the theme song for Pulp Fiction. It's called I'm sure I'm not going to say this right. Misirlou, Misirlou.
Do you know what we're talking about, Stormy?
Yes, I love that song.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just thought that was another famous song that became famous through a movie, and I just thought that would be an interesting topic, and I'm sure you would like to divert from everything I have to say to something else.
No,
Mel.
actually, we're gonna come back to you. I'm dying to know what Stormy has for us on this topic, and then we'll go back to Zoe, and then we will come back to me because I think I have a little bit of different take on it.
So did Zoe say something?
She just told her story.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
And she told her story about her some kid that lives in her house.
Named Elliot. They didn't talk. Oh,
Yeah,
that was then. Okay,
He has two L's in his name. Whatever.
Whatever. I just say that's a bunch of bull, but that's okay. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna share some shows that the music made the shows badass shows.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Sure, whatever.
First of all, and you guess
NCIS.
what? Well, I was going to go with Welcome Back, Carter. Remember that?
Oh, welcome back. Oh, my God.
Welcome back.
To the
welcome
place.
Welcome back.
I know. Well, he says other things in the song, too. He's like,
Yeah,
to
I
the
don't know
place,
anything else.
To the place to the place where you're from. Welcome.
Yeah,
I
I don't
love
know
that
that part.
show. Ooh, Mr. Carter. Who is that? Otter? Ooter?
I was going to say Vinnie Barbarino, but that's the wrong show. I don't know.
No, it began with an O.
I remember.
Damn it. I can't remember.
Horshack.
Horshack. Not an O,
Horshack.
but close enough.
Yep, we can
It
bring
has
up
an O sound.
Horshack. Right. Close enough. So I'm going to give you a couple of shows, and I know I'm going to rock it. I'm going to crush it with the shows I'm going to bring up. First show, Stranger Things. Come on.
Great
Stranger
show.
Things.
Yep.
Big 80s soundtrack.
Big 80s soundtrack, right?
Yes.
Pardon me. I do apologize. I just had a little sip of Diet Dr. Pepper and it went straight to me.
Talking about Stranger Things.
Right. I don't.
That happens.
That was okay. Good. All right. At least it came out that
At least
end
it
and
came
not the
out.
other
Absolutely.
end. So it's a small studio. Is
Well, I've
all I'm
already had
saying.
a few that come out the other end, and there's been no complaints.
I'm glad
so
that
we're good.
you took care of that before we got in the studio.
Sorry,
Thank you,
Mom.
Stormy.
The next one is HBO with Ballers.
Okay,
I
I've
love
never
that
seen
show.
Ballers.
Oh my
I don't know what that's
gosh.
about.
Ballers is ridiculous.
What's
It's got
his
The
name?
Rock.
The Rock.
Oh, he's so fucking fine.
Ex-football career. Now
Yep.
he's a sports agent, strutting around like me.
Just like
Strutting
you.
like-
Just like
in
me.
what way is he strutting
Okay,
around
but-
like you?
The physical. Have you seen me standing up? Have you seen me
A
flex?
couple times.
Yeah,
I'm
couple
just like The Rock.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a good
just
thing you're married
like-
now. It's a good thing you're married now.
Phew,
I don't know
yes.
how you'd be on the open market. I got to be honest with you. Just
Yeah,
saying.
I've had to live with that.
Okay, wait. So who's on Ballers? I mean, you're talking about Ballers. I've never seen the actual show. I don't know anything about the show except what you just told me.
I mean, the Ballers. So, this is newer music because, but they have people like Kendrick Lamar, the Delphonics. Old school, like Too Short. I mean, they've got everybody on there.
What song by Too Short? Do you know?
Money on the Floor.
All right. For those of you who are listening, I made it rain up in here. I know
made
you
it
can't see
rain.
that.
Not so
I
good
know
for
you can't see that, but
podcast,
that wasn't an awkward silence. That was awesomeness
It was
happening.
awkward. It was awkward
Nope.
for me. Very awkward. But
Oh, yeah. So, and we can't forget about Breaking Bad because that's probably the best show ever made for TV.
Never
yes,
seen
I'm
it.
saying it right here. You know what? I'm done with this show.
Never seen it.
I'm done with
Never
this
seen
podcast.
it. So he makes meth. That's what I know.
A school teacher that makes meth. Come on, how
And
cool!
he's he's the dad from Malcolm in the Middle. That's
Yes.
all I know.
Did a great job, and he recruited one of his students to sell his meth,
Oh, that's branching out, man.
and his brother-in-law, DEA agent.
yep. It's a
Did he
great
know?
show.
Does he know his
Did
brother-in-law?
the DEA no? Did
No,
the
no.
DEA agent know
The
that he was
DEA
selling?
agent just know that there's some guy making some badass meth in town, doesn't know who it is, and he confides in his brother-in-law that there's this guy named Heisenberg that's just taking the market by storm, and it's his brother-in-law. Pretty cool. And when he washes money, he does it with a car wash. Yeah.
When he washes money?
Got to wash his money, his illicit money. So just the symbolism that he buys a car wash to wash.
Wait,
To
are you
laundry.
talking about
Not literally
money?
wash.
Okay, I was like, you
buys a
mean
car
money
wash.
laundering? Or are you talking about? So for those of you out there who don't know what money laundering is,
Yeah, tell us about that. What's money
yeah,
laundering?
money-
CFP,
Perfect
tell
topic.
us about that.
money laundering is where you take dirty money and you clean it, where you take money that was garnered by illegal activity and you send it through a actual recognized corporation, and you thus clean the money, was money laundering. So there's a huge issue right now going on specifically in Vegas. Well, actually, it would be
In Vegas?
It would be Nevada, it would be Washington, Oregon, Colorado, all the places that have recreational marijuana. So if you didn't have any other reason to visit Vegas besides everything else, there you go. Obviously, we have legal recreational marijuana. But there's a huge issue right now because what happens is that the dispensaries and, you know, all the other people taking cash, they're not allowed to put it into the banks because the banking system is FDIC insured, which is a federal federal insurance, federal corporation. And so what ends up happening is that they can't actually make any of the deposits of the cash that they're taking. But this is a fucked up part.
Wait, they can't deposit their money?
They can't deposit their money because it's a federal bank, and technically it's considered money laundering because they're taking in money that is legal on the state level and they're depositing it into federal when it is still illegal on the federal level, and so they actually won't let them do that. And there's a whole big thing, but the fucked up part of all of it is that they still make them pay taxes on the money, but the money is still considered dirty. So
wait, what do they do with the money?
They
like cash vaults?
They cash vaults.
Buy a bunch of real
Money,
estate
y'all.
cash and then sell it?
Yep, they go to the strip club and make it rain. I don't know,
Gotcha.
but yeah.
I'm in
So
the
anyway,
wrong
so
business.
yay Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. So go ahead. I just wanted to interject
So what's
that.
some of the music off Breaking Bad?
Oh my gosh, I gotta name music now from Breaking Bad.
Well, that
Well,
was
I've never
that
seen.
was the,
I've never
um,
seen Breaking
you're
Bad.
like the
so-
only
title of the
person-
podcast.
You're like the only person on the planet who's never seen Breaking Bad.
Yeah. So I mean, so what kind of music? So like Stranger Things, I've seen, which is a great show, and they do a lot of '80s stuff off of there. And I know that they had the one scene where they dressed up as Ghostbusters, which I totally loved. And I thought it was amazing. I've heard about Breaking Bad as I've heard about Game of Thrones, which I've still also never seen.
Wait. You've
So-
never seen Breaking Bad or Games of
I
Thrones?
have not.
You
I
need
have
to
not.
stay in more.
Absolutely.
No.
Forget about you need to get out more. You need to stay in more, girl, because
Yeah.
ooh,
So-
you're missing out.
So Breaking Bad has who?
Oh, they've got just a wide variety of music. But the cool thing with Breaking Bad, it has like some Latin music, some Afrobeat, some artists that we're familiar with. But it's just the mixture of the music with the cinematography that just makes it pretty ridiculous. And
So basically, the music is making the show, is what you're saying.
the show's pretty awesome. It makes it
Oh.
itself, but the music really helps out. But yeah, but they have people that you heard of, Gnarls Barkley, and
Eclectic.
yeah, exactly. Just a wide variety of stuff. But the show is pretty ridiculous.
All right. Well, I'm going to take your word for it because the show's over now. And I've also, for our listeners,
You can get it on Netflix.
never seen The Sopranos. So there you go. Just telling you. But the
you've so
Sopranos
much
theme
to
song
watch.
is actually a great song by
Yeah.
a band I can't think of now. And I've heard that, but I've never actually listened to, I've never watched The Sopranos either. So it's not really my thing. So Zoe is over here super excited to talk about some ideas she had.
Okay, so the next two I want to talk about are two movies where the theme songs just made huge global hits for the bands. I'm not saying I loved them, but one I did. And I'm going to queue up Stormy for one of them. But the first one is Bryan Adams' "Everything I Do, I Do It For
Oh, it's
You."
a great song.
It's not
It's
a
so
great song.
not.
Brian
Robin
You don't
Hood.
like it?
No, Brian.
Let me
Adams
get my
not.
stats out before you all start
Okay,
talking.
get the stats out.
Okay, so 1991, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. In UK, I can just tell you about UK. It was 16 weeks at number one in the UK.
Is that because British people are...
I'm not even going to let
Helpless
you. I'm not even
romantics.
going to let you continue. I'm going to carry on with the stats and the information that our listeners tune in to
I love you,
hear.
Britton. I really do. I'm just talking
Absolutely.
shit.
So 15 million copies were sold worldwide. It was his most successful song and one of the best-selling singles of all time, even though we all friggin' hate it. And I hate the word friggin', so I'm just going to say fucking. We all fucking hate it.
I actually love that song. I don't know what she's talking about.
But anyway, so
it's true.
Yeah.
Right.
16 weeks at number one, which was the longest, I don't know if it still is, but it was at that time the longest ever number one record at number one. So that was that. And then the next longest running record at number one was 15 weeks at number one, was one of my favorite bands as a teenager. Stormy, do you want to ruin it for me?
Yes, I will. That would be Wet, Wet, Wet.
I need to shower my ears.
Oh, God.
It's disgusting.
I feel dirty and soiled. So they did a cover of the Trogs song "Love Is
The
All
who?
Around
Oh, the
Us."
Trogs.
Trogs?
The Trogs.
Oh, I didn't even bring the Trogs into
I
this.
know. God, I
We
love
got
them.
Yes.
Wet,
Wet,
Wet.
and the
And
Trogs.
the Trogs.
And the Trogs.
How about that?
Yeah. I can see it now.
So
Curtain opening.
Thank you. So they did a cover of "Love Is All Around Us" for the movie Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Okay.
And that spent
Also never saw.
15 weeks. Oh, that is a good movie.
It's very British, I heard.
It is very British, and it's got what's his face,
Oh, Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Grant.
Grant. Jackman's
No,
Australian,
Jackman's Wolverine.
and he's
Aren't you guys the same?
Australian.
Australian
Grant.
and British, aren't you guys the same?
Yeah.
I'm about to have a seizure.
For some reason, that's really offensive, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why, but
Right.
So it sold 1.9 million copies in the UK and was a huge hit for Wet, Wet, Wet. And yeah, and that was in 94. So
all right. Well, I took a little different spin on this topic.
Hey, before you dive into yours,
Yes.
I want to give you a hint. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I woke up this morning.
All right.
What's the answer?
You woke up this morning. What?
Correct. Woke Up This Morning is the band for the theme song of Sopranos. I was helping you out.
Oh,
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm helping
Woke
her
Up This
out.
Morning.
And
Oh
look
my
at
gosh!
this.
I
It's a
told you
good
I didn't know
song.
the band. It has like a kind of funky but low key beat. It was actually perfect linkage. You know, another TV show I just thought of that wasn't actually on my list that really used music great was Scrubs.
Scrubs. I remember
I love
Scrubs.
that show. Yeah.
Yeah, they were whoever, and there's an actual title for it. The person who picks out the music for the different scenes, and I can't think of what the title is right now, but great job. Great job. Every time I saw Scrubs, I was like, man, that is the exact song you should have for that. I picked up so many new songs from that just obscure songs, and I just thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Nice.
But when I was thinking of this, I thought of a couple. So Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
Oh, yeah.
Yellow.
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
Yeah. So I had the full size 33, right? 33?
No.
45 is the little one.
45 is the little one. Yeah,
Right, so
33 is the
33.
big one,
So I
right?
had the 33 single of Yellow, do boom, boom, right?
Never seen that movie.
You've
Okay,
never
have-
seen Ferris
Have
Bueller?
you heard the song though?
I'm in the wrong.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Have you heard the song? It made the movie. It
Yep.
made the movie because every
That is,
every
absolutely.
preview that came out had that song in it, and there was some obscure band, maybe from Germany, I don't know, and I had never heard them play it on the radio. Ferris
Right.
Bueller comes out, they blow up, and I had the 33, and it was awesome, and I don't know what happened to it, but like an idiot, I got rid of it, which was really, really sad. And then I started kind of thinking differently. I know that a lot of people say Glee. I'll be honest with you, I'm very proud about this. I've never seen Glee.
Me neither. I'm very proud of that too.
I'm very proud. Stormy, do you watch it every
Oh
night?
God, still.
Every night.
It's on repeat. It's on repeat while he goes to sleep.
Yes.
But apparently they've been singing a lot of songs that have come back. But what I actually started thinking of was like Guitar Hero and Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
Because when you talk about soundtracks, you talk about good ass music. And the thing that absolutely, I mean, you know, with the induction of Grand Theft Auto came out first, and the way that they incorporated music in there, it's like they created a new revenue stream for the music industry because of the simple fact that before you had a radio and you had live performances, and then, you know, and this is before digital. This is before digital got big, and you had this soundtrack, and all of a sudden, all of these songs that people had forgotten about or never heard of came to light, and they're playing in the background while you're, I don't know, I guess, stealing cars and picking up hookers. Is that what happens in that game?
Yeah, that's a great
And
game.
worse,
Great
and
game.
much
I've
worse.
never played it. I've never.
Oh, you
My
got to play
boys
that.
do, yeah. Or
Yeah.
did when they were younger.
Oh, okay. Now they're grown.
Now they're teenagers. They're into something much worse. But
And so what I thought was interesting when I started looking into this is that Guitar Hero and Rock Band, they actually picked up a lot of pretty heavy metal songs like Pantera, Cowboys from Hell. And Pantera is not the same commercial level as like a Metallica or something like that. So to see Pantera on their soundtracks was pretty impressive. And I thought, good for them. I mean, because that's a royalty.
Sure.
So they have to pay for the license in order to be able to use those songs. And it opened up fans to a whole new base, much like the Dirt movie is by Motley Crue, which I did see.
How was it?
Yeah, it was good. It really paralleled the Dirt. I mean, the deal is that the book, The Dirt, is disgusting. And it talks a lot about their sexual exploits. And the movie was pretty much on par with that. They talked nothing about their songwriting or their playing skills, and they shafted Mick Mars completely, which is bullshit. He always gets shafted. Excellent guitar player, and he never gets credit he's due. But a lot of sex and nudity, so...
Oh, well, I'm in.
Yeah, confirmed nudity. So watch that on Netflix. Yeah. And then I started thinking about soundtracks to movies and those types of things, because I'm not a big TV show watcher, as you can tell. And it made me think of Flashdance.
Oh,
Flashdance.
Do you remember Flashdance?
Yeah.
Did you ever see
Bill? What was her name?
Jennifer something.
Jennifer something. She was in the chair looking up.
Yeah, in the water.
With the water. Absolutely.
Of course he remembers
It's all
that
about the Flashdance. Yeah. Don't remember anything else about the movie.
Well, it was kind of pretty much the whole movie. But what I thought was super, super amazing is that Flashdance came out in 1983, and there was not a huge thing with soundtracks yet, as far as artists not looking at soundtracks as being worth any kind of while. Now, before that, we had Rocky III come out in 1982 with Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, love that song.
That's a good fucking song.
Jeez.
Those lyrics are amazing.
That was
and
my ringtone for a while.
It should be. It should be everybody's ringtone. And if you don't listen to it and automatically want to run up a flight of stairs, then you suck, because I want to all of a sudden I feel like I can start running and punching things and go to the gym, and it's fantastic.
Not the gym part, but everything else.
Well, I mean, that is Eye of the Tiger. That's kind of the whole...
I can't see myself anymore,
whole
and
thing.
that's very disturbing.
Oh my God.
love
How conceited is she?
I
I'm in the
don't
middle
know
of my
about
thing,
her.
Zoe.
Sorry. Right,
Yeah.
go on.
So
Because
anyway,
it's not like you interrupt me or anything.
Yeah,
but,
nope.
Yeah.
So in 1982, Rocky III came out with Eye of the Tiger, but Eye of the Tiger was already out. Eye of the Tiger was already one of their songs, and it just kind of happened to mesh with it, and then, it was a successful. But Flashdance, and specifically, came out in 1983. I remember the water. I remember the leg warmers, because fucking for some reason we all wore leg warmers, even if it was hot as balls outside. We were like, let me put our leg warmers. Will look so cool. And then we had, I don't know if England had this, but we had these sweaters that had reindeer going across.
Very gassy today. But yeah.
Reindeer going across, and they were like black with like kind of snowflakes, whatever. And then what we had is we had matching leg warmers that we would put on over our jeans.
Yes.
I
we
remember
had
that.
Over
was
our
such
jeans.
a good
Why?
look.
Why did we do that? Did that turn men on, Stormy? Because we obviously thought it did.
You know what? I don't know, but I can tell you what does.
Okay.
I love the yoga pants that people are wearing, that women are wearing today.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with leg warmers.
Anything. That doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Nothing to do with
good.
your leg warmers?
Shush it.
My bad.
But good for you. And the
thanks.
yoga pants. I'm
Moving
assuming
on.
you're not talking about the baggy ones look like sweatpants, which is what I wear. Yoga pants to me are not sexy. They're just like,
No,
they're
they've
sweats.
got all cutouts now on the side.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking about different yoga pants.
Yeah.
Lulumans?
Oh, yeah, those are
Lululemons?
sexy.
I keep telling my wife, put on some Lulumans.
Yeah. Those
and once again, you're not quite getting it right, which is so why we love you.
Actually, it is Lulumons. Actually, that is the full name of it.
So did I get it right?
You did get it.
Oh, yeah. See,
No,
I got it
it's
right.
Lulumons.
Yeah.
They're publicly traded.
Now what? Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's all very true. So anyway, getting back to Flashdance. So the thing that I remembered when I was sitting here thinking about this topic was Flashdance. During the scene, they're all working out because they're all strippers, or I guess not technically full strippers, but partial strippers. And they're all sitting around and they're all working out. They're dancers that are mostly closed dancers. And they're sitting around working out, and it's to the song of I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett. I love rock and roll. Put another dime in the jukebox, baby. So, what did you just say?
I don't know. I just got all confused.
Okay.
I can dig a mama.
Yeah, I don't, she's making stuff up. But And there's another song on there, Gloria, when she was skating and she fell, calling Gloria. And I love that. I love that soundtrack. And I bought that soundtrack because I wanted those two songs. And those two songs were in the movie, but not on the soundtrack.
Oh.
And Joan Jett specifically, and I'm sure Laura Branigan did the same thing with Gloria. Joan Jett physically, like, she decided she did not want her song on the soundtrack because of the simple fact that soundtracks were not really, such a big deal. And that soundtrack to date has sold over 20 million copies.
Ooh, bad move.
Wow, bad move.
Yeah, because every single time one of those is sold, she would be getting royalties on it. And something else I uncovered, which I thought was fascinating, and I didn't have time to go further detail. So anytime you play music, so like you go to the Yard House, that's a big restaurant here in Vegas. I'm sure it's where you're located as well, and they have music playing, which I love, and it's the real music. It's not like knockoffs. Like sometimes you listen to hold music, and it's some crappy version of a crappier song by somebody you've never heard of, and you can tell it's different. Well, Yard House actually plays, if it's a Rolling Stones song, it's Rolling Stones that you're hearing, and it's fantastic. Well, there's a license that they have to buy in order to be able to play that music. And so there's a whole bunch of different licenses that you buy as far as to cover, your music royalties. It depends on if they're live performance. It depends on they're the radio and that kind of stuff. But the movie industry, according to two sources I found, but I still couldn't confirm it, the movie industry was able to lobby successfully to not be included in having to pay royalties if they played the song in the movie.
Wait a second.
Right.
So if I film a movie.
Yep, you film a movie.
I pay one time for the song?
Is
that what happens? I don't pay anything?
Don't pay anything.
Come on.
So so that's where the soundtrack came in. Okay. So then on the soundtracks come out as an actual record label. You can actually win Grammys for them and those types of things. And that's where the people are supposed to be making their money. But technically, if it's in a movie, you can just fucking carte blanche. And I need to confirm this. Like I said, I found two sources, and, I'd want to dig into it further. But I just thought that was absolutely, completely fascinating. And in respect to Flashdance, you have Joan Jett and Laura Branigan that completely missed out on so much stuff as far as royalties. I mean, Joan Jett would easily still be getting paid today. I mean, she's already getting paid on I Love Rock and Roll.
Right.
But then you have, like, a lot of songs that are exclusive, like Coneheads the movie. So the SNL skit back in the day.
Coneheads,
this is in the 90s. They actually came out with a movie, and it had, the lady that I can see that was on Jane, You Ignorant Slut. Who is he talking to? That lady that I can't remember her name right now. She was the Conehead mother. All right, we got Stormy on
Rita
it.
Redner?
No. She's blonde. Damn it. And so it was they had a Conehead skit on SNL, and they made a movie out of it in the 90s because obviously we don't have any new ideas. We just keep repeating shit that we've already seen.
Jane Curtin.
Yes.
I'm good. Good.
Good job. Good job with you and Google, Stormy.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah. I don't know. I just high-fived him and he fist bumped me. It was a little weird. But so there was a song on the Red Hot Chili Peppers did that was only on the soundtrack called Soul to Squeeze. And when I worked at
great song.
It's a great song. And when I worked at the station, people would call frantic, where is that song? I can't find it anywhere. It was because it was only released on Conehead's the soundtrack, and that helped sell it. However, of course, now since then it's been on, Red Hot Chili Peppers, greatest hits and those types of things. And so I just thought it was really interesting. And then, of course, what you have is you have an outreach of this where you have like all of these fantasy playlists. And so I talk about the song in my social media all the time. And if you've never heard it, you need to listen to it. So Neil Young, I almost said Neil Diamond, Neil Young did a song called Cortez the Killer, which was about the Mayans or Moctezumans. I don't know if they're the same people, but whatever. And this guy named Tom McNally redid the song, and it's off of the Sons of Anarchy fantasy playlist. And I got to tell you, he makes Neil Young look like a chump. It is the best cover I've ever heard. So what you have is you now you have the Grand Theft Autos, and you have all these other places, Guitar Heroes and that. I don't even know if Guitar Hero and that shit is in vogue anymore, but you have all of this stuff that has an offshoot. And then from that, you also have an offshoot of fantasy playlists where people take original songs and redo them and then tie them to a TV show. And then that's another revenue of royalties coming in. And so, I mean, I think the whole thing is absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, originally when you brought up the topic, the first thing I thought of was Run DMC and Aerosmith. Because it wasn't a TV show, but it completely revived Aerosmith's career. Aerosmith was, you know, they were so high and strung out on substance abuse and all that kind of stuff. And they pulled it together enough to be with Run DMC. Run DMC didn't want to do it, did not want to do it. Aerosmith was like, I don't even know who the fuck these guys are. And the fact that Run DMC rapped the lyrics to the song, they ended up bringing Aerosmith's career back like that. Instantaneously, Aerosmith went right back into the studio, released Permanent Vacation, which I own. Ragdoll is one of my favorite songs by them. And it was fantastic. Then after that, they released Pump, which I absolutely love that CD as well. And then they got a little weird in the 90s, and I was like, I don't know what you're doing, you know, Pink and all that kind of shit. And then they had Alicia Silverstone was in all their videos and stuff like that, which is a little weird because she was really young, and she's in like little underwear and Girl Scout Catholic uniforms and that kind of stuff. But when we were talking about that, that was the things that I was just, you know, thinking of, is just how all the different ways that the music industry has been able to branch out and be able to just dig a little bit deeper on royalties and songs that were already written and sang.
Cool.
There you go.
Well, I still have more to say, so let me back in.
Okay.
You're back.
Okay, so you can't not mention Inner Circle's Bad Boys. They had released it in 1987 and got pretty poor sales. And then, of course, it got taken up for Cops for their theme song. You know what I'm
Bad
talking
boys,
about?
bad boys. Yeah.
What you
wanna
gonna
do?
What you gonna do when
when
they
you-
come for you?
But when you say Bad Boys, I immediately think of the original movie with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
Well, it was in that too. They used the
Well,
song on there.
yeah, but I mean, they had that soundtrack is amazing, and they have a song on there by Tupac, "Me Against the World." It's just me against the world. Ooh, ooh. Oh my God, it is the best fucking soundtrack. And so when you originally said Bad Boys, I immediately went to the movie, but you're talking about the
TV show.
The
Bad
Cops.
Boys thing.
Yeah.
I wonder how they felt about having their show used with a whole bunch of hick white people getting arrested, having their song.
Wait, didn't the TV show come out before the movie?
Oh,
believe-
no, I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I'm going back to the
To
television
Inner
show now.
Circle. I'm sure
Yeah,
they
Inner Circle.
love the money. They
I'm
must
love- I'm
have
sure they
got-
love the
yeah,
money.
I'm sure
Absolutely.
they didn't really care.
Cops
as
is
soon
not
as
on anymore, is it?
It's
Cops-
probably
Yes,
on
it's
syndication.
reruns.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's a
on all
rerun,
the
but it's
time.
not. They don't have any new stuff. I mean,
Oh no, it's on syndication. I'm sure.
and what I never understood is you get arrested, you still have to sign something saying you can use my face. Why the fuck would you sign that?
Because
No.
you're drunk or high or you don't know.
No,
what
because you can't
They
sign.
said
You
help
can't.
your plea deal. It is Zoe. You're the attorney. So if the cops arrest me and they're like, sign this, and we'll go easier on you. I'm sure. I mean,
Oh, they
these
don't
aren't.
do that. Of course, they don't do that.
Are we
I'd be
sure?
wrong. No,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. That's not my area. So another song that you can answer me this. Hang on, 2 seconds.
3.
Her mouth is dry.
So
I saw the
I'm a
gas.
huge big fan of Massive Attack.
Who?
Massive Attack.
Never heard of them.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Me either.
So then that pretty much answers my question because one of their songs, Teardrop, is the theme song for House, which maybe that's why neither of you.
The TV show.
Yeah,
I never
Do you
watched
watch the-
House.
Oh, okay.
But in House, behind him, there's a Motley Crue thing in his shadow box. He's a diehard, the guy, whoever that guy is, he's a diehard Motley Crue fan, which makes me absolutely love him, even though I
Hugh
don't know what
Laurie.
his name
Isn't that
is.
his name? Hugh
Yeah,
Laurie?
he's English too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't care about the English part, but he's a diehard Motley Crue fan.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
I thought he was Australian.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, see, now you just winded me up.
But like, hey, Motley Crue fans, we'll take Australians too. We're
Yeah,
okay with
absolutely.
it. You all sound the same.
Anyway, it was the theme song for House from 2004 to 2012. And I just wondered if it had made Massive Attack in any way popular over here, but you two have just kind of answered that for me. But there you go. I still have a couple more, but if anyone else has shit that they want to throw in, then go ahead.
Okay.
No?
I've got nothing to throw in. I just want to hear this.
Okay, well,
I want to hear some more.
how about Seal, Kiss from a Rose? He didn't like that song and kind of threw it away. And then he was asked to come up for a song for Batman Forever in 95. And he gave them that song, and it became a huge
He gave
success.
him Kiss for a Rose for Batman?
Yeah, Batman.
That was
Forever.
Michael
I don't
Keaton,
see
right?
it.
Was that the Michael Keaton ones? The movie where Michael Keaton was Batman for a hot minute. Is
Yeah,
that
he
the
was.
one? Is that from that movie?
I don't
That's
know.
about the time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure, it wasn't Ben Affleck.
Arnold Schwarzenegger
No.
was Mr. Freeze, right?
Yeah. Arnold
Yeah, and he
Schwarzenegger
was
Mr.
like
Freeze.
completely ripped still, and he was wearing a little onesie, which I thought was very nice.
Who are we talking about now?
Talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. Call me Arnold.
So doesn't everyone love that song though by Seal?
Not really.
Okay. Well, fuck you both. And moving on.
I mean, it's okay, but it's like I don't know. I want to get depressed and sit in the closet when I hear it.
I don't. I just want to hug myself and rock back and forth, but that's what I do.
That's disturbing, and that's why I don't like the song.
Okay, and then the best-selling soundtrack of all time, whether you like it or not, is Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You from The Bodyguard.
Yeah. That one's
Did
not
you
good.
know that song was originally by Dolly Parton?
Of course, I did.
I didn't.
Oh, yay,
So,
there you go.
so let's piggyback on that because Elvis Presley, when Dolly Parton released "I Will Always Love You," Elvis Presley, like I think 4 years after it, and Colonel whoever the hell his manager was.
Sanders?
No, it was Colonel Thomas or I don't know. They called him the Colonel. That was his manager. Came to Dolly Parton, and they said, "Hey, Elvis wants to redo your song." But we have a thing that if we redo a song, we own it. So in order for
Lord, I don't know what's wrong with me. I do apologize.
So in order for Dolly Parton to have Elvis Presley sing her song, she would have to literally sign over the rights to it. And she said,
Really?
yeah. And Dolly, I don't like country music, but fucking Dolly Parton
yeah.
she is a badass
She's a
bitch.
legend.
Yes, and she, amazing from what she came from, and an amazing musician, amazing lyricist. But she told him no.
Absolutely. Why would you say yes? I mean, what's the?
But this is before she didn't know about Whitney Houston. This is in the 60s or whatever.
Okay.
And she's in interviews in her little southern drawl, which is so adorable. She's like, I just couldn't do it, but I would just love to have heard Elvis singing my song. And then, of course, Whitney Houston comes and blows it up, and the amount of money she gets from it is absolutely ridiculous. So
She's dead now, so.
Smart.
I mean,
I'm
who's
talking about-
laughing now?
I'm talking about Dolly Parton.
Oh, Dolly Parton gets.
Yeah,
I
so
see what you
Dolly
mean.
Parton got tons of the royalties from Whitney Houston. So,
Interesting.
oh yeah.
So
It's
that soundtrack apparently has sold 45 million copies worldwide, and that song "I Will Always Love You" has sold 20 million copies. So it's an awful song. God, I hate it.
No, you know what? I'd rather hear that than what was the one from the
Oh, from-
Titanic, Celine Dion.
Oh yeah, I have that down too. My heart will go on.
Oh God, I want to murder
oh,
people.
I do.
All
I
these songs
hate
you
that
just mentioned suck.
fucking song. Yeah.
Well, I didn't say
Every last
that it
one
was
of
going
them.
to be good songs.
Every
but-
last one of them.
No, not every single last one of them. Massive Attack.
pretty much.
The last
No.
three have been pretty bad.
Yeah.
Which last three? Kiss from a Rose, no, I disagree. But Whitney's, Witter's, and Celine Dion, yes. But anyway, I didn't say they were good songs. That wasn't the title of the podcast.
I'm speaking for all the guys out there. Not one of them like it, but we have to listen to it.
Which
I-
one?
My
I don't
wife's
know. I
made
mean-
me listen
Which
to all of those songs over and over and over again.
Well, you would
I don't
make
like
it-
that
Yeah.
stereotype. I don't like that stereotype where guys they think that they have to put on some cheesy, stupid fucking love song to like get you in the mood. It makes me want to punch people's throat. I absolutely detest it.
I was going to do that tonight with these songs. I was writing them down.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe
When I
Sanders,
got home,
maybe
I'm like,
Sanders,
hey,
you know, you might get lucky, or I almost said laid. You might get laid, or you might get a throat punch. So I guess it depends on the kind of woman Sandra is.
I'll let you know next week how it turned out.
Okay.
But one of the good things that we can segue here, so we are not allowed, we talk a lot about music that we love, and we sing a lot of it because it immediately pops up in our heads. And we've been advised by our attorney that we can't play any of these songs during the podcast, which we absolutely want to do. We absolutely love, but, you know, we can't do that because, you know, whatever, royalties and copyright infringements and all that bullshit. So one of the things that we actually do is we have a Spotify playlist where we take all of the episodes and all of the music that we talked about, and we actually build a playlist of it, and it's usually very eclectic. And it's usually kind of all over the place. We got a little bit of metal in there, even though I don't think we got any metal in this show.
Yay.
Little bit of metal in there. That's okay. I'm gonna circle it back next show, and we're gonna make that happen. But so you can go ahead and you can search for that under Mel O CFP, MELO CFP. And you will be able to find all of our playlists from all of our episodes from Finance is the Other F Word podcast. And of course, you can always follow us on social media, Finance is the Other F Word. And we're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And with that, anybody have anything to add?
And wherever you get your podcasts.
There you go. What Stormy said.
That's it.
All right. And we're out. See you next podcast.
Thanks for listening. If you like us, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.